They'll introduce themselves with something like, or I'm a poor single mom, struggling, jobless. Thoughts of an introvert, welcome into my head. You are not your problems, and your problems do not and should not define you. My lovelies, let's get into this. So, most people, and why did I think about this video? I have people who hit my DM for several different reasons, and I noticed many people have a tendency of letting their problems define them. When they're introducing themselves, they'll introduce themselves with something like, or I'm a poor single mom, struggling, jobless, I'm an orphan and I can't afford school fees. And most of the time, before I even start to sympathize or even feel any kind of empathy, I'm always struck by how unfortunate someone lets their problems define them. And it's not just about when you hit someone's DM, but basically in life, whatever you do in life, do not let your problems define you, and you are not your problems. So, in whatever your situation is, whatever you're going through, you should never at any one point introduce yourself as your problems, you know? And this is why. So, first of all, if I go for a job interview, if I go to a social gathering, if I go to a networking event, wherever I am in life, if I'm always going to introduce myself as the poor single mom whose husband abandoned and has no job and is poor, or the poor orphan that has problems paying the tuition, let me tell you, the world doesn't care. That's unfortunately like that, you know? So people are going to look at you and they will no longer see you as a person, but they will see your problems. I hope you get me. So I'm not saying it's not okay to talk about your problems, but don't let them be the first things that people get to know about you, and don't let them be the things that people define you by, you know? Ask yourself always, who am I without my problems? So I'll give an example. Who am I as Rushoff without any problems that I may be dealing with in life right now? So that means you look back into yourself, you reflect, you think about your strengths, you think about the things that make you special and unique, because there's no any other person in this world like you, with or without your problems, you know? So I want you to look deep inside and look at the strength. And then after you've been acknowledged as you, the person, then you can come in with your problems. And that is very important because, again, like I said, for example, when you hit my DM, first impressions matter. You know, human beings, we have the tendency of, you think, or maybe if I start that way, someone is going to feel sorry for me. So, like I said, first of all, the world doesn't care, you know, and even if I empathize with you, would you want someone really to do whatever they do for you, or to treat you whichever way they treat for you, just because they feel sorry for you? I feel that is, you know, devaluing yourself. So definitely always put forward what you are as a person, and not the things around you and in your life. You know, I want to be able to know who you are before I even get to know what your problems are, what your challenges are. So always try to keep those things in mind, and those things are important, like I'll be saying, because those are the same things that will uplift you once you get to discover and keep in touch with exactly who you are. Victim mentality, like I said, if you let your problems define who you are, people are going to look at you like, oh, this person is playing the victim, or they're going to care even less, because like I said, we're all dealing with our own problems. Like every single person in this world is dealing with something that you know nothing about. The difference is how grave, you know, one problem is, but everyone is dealing with something. So don't be the person that is always having this victim mentality. And I'm not taking away from your pain. If you're an orphan, if you're poor, if you're a single mom, if you're divorced, we all have our issues, but don't let that be what defines you. Because instead of people getting to empathize with you, they're going to look at you maybe in a derogatory manner. They're going to be like, oh, this one is playing the victim, or who cares? Like I said, the world doesn't owe you. So the world is tough out there, tough as it may be, tempting as it might be to play the sympathy card, the victim card. Always try to desist from that. Be it when you go for a job interview, like I said, not working, whatever you do, always try to let that take the last space and not the front space. And again, the world doesn't owe you. Like I said, no one owes you, and they don't care. You can see that on social media. Like I always tell people, when you're doing well, everyone is cheering you on. But the moment something goes wrong, the same people that have been cheering you on are the same people that are going to be hitting hard on you. So the world doesn't really care, unfortunately, until someone knows you on a deeper level, until someone knows you on a personal basis. And that's why I use the example: if you hit my DM, just get to introduce yourself as a human being. And then when I get to know you at a better level, I can get to know your problems. But if you hit my DM, for example, and you're like, oh, I'm a poor girl from XY and now I need your help, my alarms are going to go up. I'm going to be like, oh, is this a scammer? Or is this? And then, which is unfortunate, because you could legitimately be in need of guidance, of help. But I won't be offering you that because I'm like, oh my God, you know, it's normal psychology. So always keep that in mind. And also very important, why your problems do not define you and you are not your problems. Focus more on your strength. Again, like I said, this being a social empowerment channel, just my thoughts, thoughts of an introvert. Even with our problems, for example, when I got divorced, someone could consider that a problem. For me, it wasn't a problem, it was a choice. And people saying, oh, I'm a single mom. Being a single mom is not a problem. It depends on how you see it, on how, what you really what you really intend to do out of your life. Sometimes our problems can be the pushing factor, can be the fuel that help us to get to our destination, that help us to fulfilling our goals and dreams and desires. It doesn't always have to be negative. The challenges that we face in life can be used to fuel us, to motivate us, to push us to work harder, to be more ambitious. But if you concentrate on, oh my God, I'm the poor single mom of 4 kids without a job, and then you, while in your sorrow every day, then you're never going to get out of there. And the world will continue moving on without you, and people will continue living their lives without you. So definitely, it doesn't help at all. At all. Yes, it's okay to feel sorry for yourself, but do it for a little bit, get up and kick. I didn't want to say that word, but you know what I mean. Don't wallow so long in those dark spaces, in your problems, because you are not your problems. Your problems are just a part of your life, even just a phase of your life, but they don't define who you are. And do not give them so much time and attention, because if something is a problem, if something is a challenge, then it's not even worth your attention, unless you're going to use it to fuel you, to elevate you into a better space. If I'm going to concentrate on my problems, it will be because I'm like, how can I change this? How can I solve this? How can I get into a better mental space, and not be like, oh my God, my life is so terrible. Oh, poor me. Other people are winning in life and I'm not. That's not going to help at all. So if you're going to concentrate on your problems, let it be because you're trying to look for a solution. And that would be something like, maybe you educate yourself, acquire more knowledge, get more skills. We're talking about networking, taking risks in life. If it is a job that you're not happy about, you have a terrible boss, you're struggling, you're not earning well, take measures, to make that better. Get more qualifications, start searching for other jobs. Look at the reasons why, for example, your workplace is not good. Should you consider maybe a career change? And all these things, take risks, move on. And you can always start again, like I always say, but don't sit way too long into your problems and let your problems define you, because you are not your problems. Essentially, there's you at the core, and your problems are just all around you, but they are not who you are. And again, as I finish this, I would say letting your problems define you narrows your perspective. You cease to see all the opportunities. You cease to see your strength. You cease to see what you're capable of. You cease to see solutions. All you see are problems, and then you'll never get out of there. So definitely always keep in mind, no matter how the situation is, and God knows I respect anyone going through whatever challenge they're going through, because that is unfortunately part of life. But try so hard to not let your problems define who you are. And finally, life is a choice. You will either decide to take a seat in the corner and cry all day and let your problems define you, or you'll get up and do something about it. My lovelies, thank you so much for taking a front row seat in my head. Until next time, love you.